Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. Yeah, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Yeah, drop some comment down below. In terms of what you have in mind, what you need help with. And I'm proud to announce the Huxley University is actually up and running. We have about 10 people currently, 10 spots left. I'm only taking about 20 guys. So if you really want to, invest in what you're about to see, now, actually, because I want to show you the easiest way you can make like $1,000, trading ICC, even on a smart time frame. Actually, just even trading ICC SEs, but on smart time frame like scalping, no need for day trading because some of the setups when it comes to ICC, they usually unfold after like what 2, 3 days, 4 days. So pretty much, But for those, I want to address also something for those that are saying I took side strategy, I made my own. No, this is price action, guys. Comes way back. This is support and resistance, pretty much. This is a trend lines. You understand? So that's where this whole thing come from because you trade in trends and support and resistance. That's it. So it's for the ICC. It was just more like a fancy word to be put around it and to explain the three-step process that he made easy for you guys, because he replaced the breakout, like breakout from the lows with an indication. The chart is giving you an indication. He replaced the retest with the correction, price is correcting, still good, yeah, and then the continuation remain the continuation, right? But yeah, pretty much, so these analysis were made last week Friday in terms of what do we expect to see what the market doing. You get what I'm saying? So based on the levels that we have, right? But I'm just gonna go ahead and delete everything that we have here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to actually trade ICC on smaller time frame and to actually make money off of it. It doesn't matter the session also. So don't worry about waiting for New York session, London session. No, none of that. So you're just gonna be making money based on the structure that you're receiving. It's not only gonna be on gold, but it happens on most of the pairs, like Nasdaq, whatever the case may be. You understand? But I prefer to show it in gold, because it shows it's more what people are really after because yeah, the story. But pretty much let's start with 15 minutes just to show you because I did talk about ICC being also happening on a smaller time frame, right? So I'm just gonna show you a few things that you could have done. Maybe that's Friday, could have the trade that you could have probably made money off of. Yeah, just gonna show it to you, right? So as you can see, the chart is giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, lower high, and then to the downside, give us a lower low, another probably a lower high, and then a higher low. Price, let's say we are around here, right? So what the higher low that was made, we know that, okay, this is giving us more of a, like it's showing us that it's not an indication, but it's showing that price can actually push to the upside, right? There's potential to go to the upside because if a structure is bearish, it has to continue giving us those lower low, like lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. It has to continue. Same thing if the price is bullish, it has to give us those higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, continue to give us higher high. You understand? So it's still a trend either way. So if you're scalping, you want to really focus on 15 minutes and 5 minutes for those entries, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute, 15 minutes for it being for the trend that you're gonna be looking for, the type of trend that you are in. 5 minutes is for gonna be probably taking those entries or even 5 or 1 minute, but it's gonna be for entries, right? But you can even include 30 minutes on this one or even 1 hour just to be in correlation with everything that's happening. But you can take what's happening on the overall time frame so you can understand where you currently are and then probably correlate that so you can be able to take those scalping trades on smaller time frame, right? So we knew that we were in a part of a correction, prices going up, we could be correct and come back to these previous lows, tap into those lows, price to give us a lower high so we can continue selling price to the downside, right? So like I said, I'm just gonna show you an easy way you guys could have, can make money off of something like this, right? Because ICC people, they people have a lot to say, you know, um, recently, right? But yeah, or like as I was saying, we do have these. Like I said, we have this lower high, this higher low, this lower high, and then this lower low, this lower high, and then this higher low, right? And then what that higher low we made, price started to move to the upside, right? So we know that, like I said, the trend is what is telling us, like what's currently happening, right? It's the one that is currently telling us, okay, this is what's currently happening, this is what we're having, this is the trend that we are in. We were in it that we were bearish, price broke above the highs, this high, this lower high, giving us an indication to the upside. And then price started to correct back on a downtrend, on a small downtrend to give us that higher low we need so you can continue to push to the upside, right? So that came as an indication. Price corrected on the 5 minute to the downside, and then looking forward to take those buy entries to the upside. How do you do that, right? So it's going to apply the same thing, the same three steps process, the indication, the correction, the continuation. It's still the same thing, right? Just on different time frames, right? So you can be able to take those trades on a smaller time frame, right? Yeah, pretty much. So let me see what's happening here. All right. Yeah. So you're gonna be looking for that trend to happen actually, and then so you can be able to take those trades and then be willing to look for what the market is doing, to the upside. And like I said, we still have the ICC happening on all of the time frame. We have the indication also, the indication. You have the indication, you have the correction, and you have the continuation, right? So you're still gonna have this. Remember, this is a 15-minute candlestick, like a 15-minute chart. So we're gonna be using 15 minutes just to show you that you can scalp on 15 minute, 5 minute, and 1 minute, right? So remember, so I'm just gonna do this. Let me just separate these. The 15 minutes, probably, yeah, but let me not just even separate them. But you can include 30 minutes also just to get the trend, the kind of trend that you're currently in, right? Before you do anything else, right? I'll actually pull this so I know what's happening. Right. So we have this here, right? Price give us a Price will give us a lower high here and give us a higher low here, right? So we know that for price to continue to be bearish with the movement, it has to continue to go to the downside to give us that lower low on the downside, but it didn't do that. So it's showing that it might start to be bullish, right? So now price, as you can see, price broke above this lower high, gave us an indication that price is now bullish. So we're looking to buy price, right? So we expect, because we got the indication to the upside, we expect the price to correct back. Understand? We got the indication to the upside. We expect price to correct back, probably into these highs before we can take the entry to the upside. That would have been even been much easier, right? So I'll show you two examples in terms of how you could have made, maybe $1,000 or whatever the case may be. Sorry about that. I have flu, guys. All right, price corrected back. This was the indication to the upside. Price corrected back, gave us this higher low, and then pushed to the upside. So I'm gonna go down to 5 minutes because we need more information on how to be able to take those trades, right? So I do speak about areas where you see price is been reacting off of, right? So you're like, okay, I see price when it went up to give us that indication. Price gave us a high here, a higher low here, and then started to shoot to the upside. Then price somehow price has been reacting off this level, right? So you could have said, either okay, let's see what price has been doing whenever it gets to this level, right? So price has been reacting off of that. As you can see, reaction, there was a reaction here, reaction here, reaction here, and then broke below, it kept on reaction here, broke up, reaction here, below, stuff like that when it came down, right? So remember our entry model. We have that entry model. We say a break, whether let's say on the level of resistance, if you're looking to take buys, you want to have it high and then that higher low, and then so you can take your entries based off this higher high that was created, right? So same thing if you break in the support, the level of the support. If you're looking to take the sales to the downside, you wanna break it below lower low, so candle close, and then a higher low, and then when price comes back, that's where you wanna be, here at the lower low where the lower low was at, right? So you can take a market execution order, or you can have a sell stop waiting there. But the moment also price decides that, before it can give you that lower high, it goes into the higher high, then it invalidates the whole entry. So the entry is no longer valid, right? It needs to be a lower high. Because we have a lower low, you have to go high. Same thing here. If the price goes and creates a lower low, it invalidates the whole entry model. You understand? So it needs to be perfectly fit, but I will show you to you guys, right? So as you can see on the 5 minute, price gave us an indication to the upside, breaking this higher low, this higher high, this higher low actually, yes, and giving us a higher high with an indication. Price started to correct back to the downside. So now we're looking to take buys to the upside. So as I said, I mentioned this level because I see price was reacting off of that level. So I will be looking to take my position just above that level because price has shown that below this level can be bearish, right? So I'll be looking to take those entries to the downside, right? For instance, even if price here, because price did come to this level, if price went up, it didn't give you that higher low that you were looking for, right? Price continue to go up, and then this here to include this here, so it can be a higher low, right? So if our entry model was to then take a trade there, pri- price never came back up. You understand? So it invalidated the whole entry when it created a lower low, right? So we're gonna look for another entry point where you could have entered, easily, right? So you see price came here, broke above. You wanna also go to 1 minute so you can get those nice perfect entries also, So as you can see, price was consolidating. You needed a high above this, these highs. You needed a higher high above these highs, and then price actually went up, gave you a high, and then on the higher low, it also gave you another high above this one. So you're gonna mark off that one and say, okay, my entry would come from here, right? My entry will come from here. So price actually, so when you look at it, it went up and then went down, created the higher low, and then continued to the upside, right? So that's how your entry would have came from, right? Your entry would have came from this low. So price cost is at the bottom. Now this price gave you a higher high and a higher low, and then you're looking to take a buy to the upside, right? Even if you wouldn't have used this, you would have probably took this one also. This was going to be even a much more perfect example because price continued to go up, create a high, and then came back down, create a higher low, and then price rallied up to the upside. But I would have preferred to take this one because it's much closer to the level of support that we have, so that whenever price comes back, it doesn't really, the stop loss is not really that much to work with. So remember, this is for scalping purposes, right? So I would have took my buys here, my stop loss just being under, you know, but was just being under there. And as you can see, if you were doing a 1:3, this would have hit immediately. A good 1:3 trade, this would have easily hit, there it is, your take profit, or 1:2, whatever you're trading, if you're going to be 1:2, you've also hit in a matter of 15 minutes, right? So this is how you can scalp. I'm also going to show another example. Let me see. Let's go back to 15 minutes because that's where the trend is at, right? Let me delete this entry. Right. So let's take this also here. Price was giving us high highs, high lows, high highs, and then price also showed us, uh, with the higher low and then give us a lower high, right? So let's take this higher low now. Like, okay, price is giving us a lower high. Here didn't go continue to the upside. So we need a break below. We need an indication. So price gave us an indication by breaking this higher low, right? After creating that lower high, right? It break this, came back to correct back here into the higher lows, right? So if you go down to 5 minutes, just to give you, that kind of thing where I say ICC can be utilized in most cases, right? So 5 minutes, you see prices bouncing off here. You have this break below, price continue to go back up, but it doesn't really do much to work with, right? If something, your entry would have came from here, right? You would have said, okay, I'm willing to take my entry from here, probably do a quick 1:2 or 1:1, whatever the case may be, right? The stop loss would have just been above this, what you see here. You would have waited for it to come to enter, hit your A entry, and then 1:1. There you have it, right? If you are a 1:1 trader, you would have had a trade, right? But also, for others who wouldn't have, taken that trade, you would have also maybe went down to 1 minute if you want to get more clarity on the entry, You would have went down to 1 minute, like, okay, I see this is the 1 minute, right? So it's like, okay, I want to see it likely break below, chart goes up to give me a higher low probably, and then enter off based off of that, right? So as you can see, also your price did the same thing here, right? Price did the same thing, broke below, give us a lower low below this consolidation, and then went up, create a higher low, right? And then didn't come back to immediately give us an entry. So it invalidated the whole entry setup, right? Because it went up to the higher high. So we needed another indication on 1 minute. So that we needed another entry model in 1 minute so that we can take that entry, right? So it gave us this. This would have been probably also another thing where we wouldn't have taken the trade. But most of all, overall, if you would have done it in 5 minutes, you would have took the trade. And then if also you would have stuck with this, you would have took the trade also because this high low this high on 1 minute is actually a lower high because it's lower than this high that you have here, right? So this on 5 minutes would have been the entry, but like I said, I think this would have been a 1:2. Let me see. You would have waited for price to come and then trigger your buy stop, your stop loss, just about there. And then, yeah, a good 1:2 trade. Yeah, it's a good 1:2. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly the dot, 1:2. You see? So it's still ICC because you had the initial indication to the downside. So whenever you start using ICC, this is how you should aim for. You shouldn't aim for 1:10, 1:5. No. Just 1:2, 1:1, 1:3, those kind of trades that you're looking to take here with this one. So you can correlate the whole thing in terms of the movement of where you are, right? But if you know you're in a correction, so the correction is gonna go up, you're gonna be looking for those levels where price can be bouncing off of, right? But your trend mostly will come from the 15 minutes. So whenever there's a shift in market structure or a breakout structure, then that becomes an indication to you, becomes an indication that price might be willing to go to this direction, right? And then once it comes after correction on 5 minutes or 1 minute, once it correct, and then you're looking to take the trades to the downside or to the upside, depending where your indication came from, breaking the highs and breaking the lows. So a 15 minute and or M30 would be your trend, and then all you can do is this, look for those levels and then mark off those levels or mark off especially the highs or the swing highs or the swing lows or the 15 minute, and then knowing that okay, because we had this was a higher low, this was a lower high, price gave us an indication, came back to correct, and then we took this 1:2 trade, and it did hit. You understand? So, and same thing that is the one that I was showing up earlier on, right? So that's pretty much how we're gonna be, also these are some of the things that you can use to be able to, amplify your trading, but you need the basics of transaction and market structure. So we've developed the Hustle University. We've launched the Hustle University this past Friday. We've had our session today. I think with the Discord, the community. As you can see, we have our own Discord community, the Hustle University here. Some of the things that are here, as you can see. So they know, yeah. So it's not a signals group, guys. It's pure knowledge, We're giving this kind of source. We're giving out this kind of source. So it's only 10 spots left, guys. It's only 10 spots left. So we're giving this kind of classes. They're gonna be like 3 classes per day, one-on-one sessions, where I'll be helping you on a one-on-one basis, not with the class, just you. Everybody has that per week. three classes per week, and then yeah, and then we have overall some of the live tradings. We're gonna be part of that, and it's a lifetime access just for $99 or $100. Yeah, it's lifetime access, and then you're gonna be there every step of the way. The support that is gonna be there. You have that kind of community where everybody's just looking to level up, and then focus their whole trading, knowing how to read the charts and everything. As much as we're doing the videos like this, they're not really gonna do much because some of it is just gonna confuse you even more. Now that you know that ICC is just price action, it's just support and resistance, and it's actually happening also in smaller time frames. How can I capitalize on that? You never know which one you're good at, whether you are a day trader or you are a scalper, or a swing trader. So those are some of the things that you need to look at. Is the university what they invest in? For me, if you ask me, yes, it will be worth the investment because this is the kind of source I'm dropping. You get what I'm saying? So, and this can help you identify the type of trading that you want to be, or the type of trading style that you want to focus on, because the bigger time frame might not be for you. You might be specializing on small time frames. You understand? So those are some of the things, the psychology behind everything, waiting out, patience and all these kind of things. These are the kind of things that we're going to be helping the community with. It's not a signals group. It's where you can come to learn how to trade, how to take your setups, how to read the charts on your own. Because the goal is to have every single one of you we being able to wake up and then read the charts on your own. All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Enjoy your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.